This is 30 more than 3 decades old company into the T&D section, and presently we are doing uh, business in grid connectivity, right from 66 kV to 765 kV. Then we are into the solar business. We are doing rooftop solars up to 10 megawatt and above. And then we are doing ground solars of the megawatt capacity, like 300, 400 megawatt capacity, right from A to Z solution also. So basically, we are a growing EPC company which has in FY25 we are shall be closing around 1200 crores, and we aspire to touch about 10,000 crores by 2030. That is the main plan, and we want to be into the into this sector where you support India story of growth of power, and we think that the connectivity and grids are the most crucial part of this story. Without grids, without transmission system, T&D system, you can't grow. And since renewable is the business and the government is focusing on that, we are doing equally good in that, and taking that on a parallel path and doing mega projects in solar. And third is rooftop. Rooftop also we are doing 10 megawatt and above. Actually, T&D losses is the one area which is the most painful area as on today. To arrest the T&D losses, the first and foremost thing which you can do with the present system is that you control the harmonics in the system. That means the reactive power in the system can be controlled. If we control the reactive power, which is a wasteful power, all sort of, and if we can control that reactive power, that much of losses will be eradicated from the system. That is one way. Second is optimal loading of the transmission lines, which is again getting painful because with the coming of renewables, more and more lines are being spread, and those lines are very, very lightly loaded, because they remain unloaded during the night time. During the daytime also, they are very, very lightly loaded, and that adds some strain on the system. So, having said that, you need to have some bundled power which should be traveling on those very lines, so that those optimized utilization of those lines can be there, and that will certainly reduce the transmission and T&D losses at the end of the day. That is all what you can do. Otherwise, since transmission losses are directly proportional to the resistance in the system, that will stay there. Only optimized utilization of lines and the reactive power can reduce their losses. One thing is standardization is must. This solar system, entire power system of solar is a repetitive model, that you are having same 220 kV substation, you are having same 400 kV substation, you are having same 765 kV substation. But every substation is coming up with a different design, because the developers are different, and developers are not persons who have technical background. They are dependent upon some advisors, and those advisors are giving their plans, their inputs and their designs as per their working. So that is adding to number of designs into the system. Like if I am doing 16 projects of 220 kV substation, all 16 projects are on different design. So I am also adding to manpower and resources and the trouble of arranging that 16 types of material. Had it would have been a standardized protocol, all these 16 substations could have been on the same format. And why I can say so? Because I see that this is possible. This is already proven, because Power Grid is making grids all over India with the same design. They have 5 designs for the 5 wind zones, and depending upon the power, that ratings are decided. So the same thing can be repeated in the this developer sector also. Now what is happening is a evacuation substation is a power grid. Their standard design of power grid is being used. But the developer is not accepting that design 1 kilometer away from that station, because his advisor is saying, no, I need a STAD calculation, I need this, I need this. And when you do all this repetitively, and some of the parameters gets changed. So that is why this standardization is very, very important, which will certainly cut down the costs of the power system, and will also cut the timelines of the system, because then standardized products will be available off the shelf. People will not wait for your order to manufacture. They will manufacture as per the standard practice. Like if you want to buy a fridge, you don't need to order it, and you go to the market and buy it. And the similar manner, if all things are standardized, you go to the market and buy those. And the manufacturers will be able to streamline their production lines also. That will certainly bring down the price, one. Second is the ROW issues. You must have heard. Any project, first, the problem is of the developer for land aggregation. Okay, he has done land aggregation. When we go to the site as EPC, then the different sort of ROW starts coming. कि सर ट्रैक्टर मैं दूंगा, लेबर हमारी लगेगी, this and that. So this all can be, since this is a big call, you are talking of 400 gigawatts of power, 300 gigawatts of additional power. So you need to arrest this. And to arrest this, it is very simple that MNRE can take the onus, or anybody, government agency can take the onus. And if they come up with the standardized format of the agreement, of which the land agreement will be formed, in which all these conditions can be sorted. I am not saying that don't care for the locals. Yes, the development of that area will be important. So you can have a standard format where you can say that this much percentage of labor will be deployed from the local that area, this much of machinery has to be deployed from that area. If particular resources are available in that area, those are to be used. Those all conditions can be there, and these are not new, which I am asking. These are already prevalent in industry. Like in Himachal Pradesh, if you are having an industry, you ought to employ certain manpower of Himachal only. So that sort of format can be brought here, which will control the ROW issues to a longer extent. And third is technology. Technology is changing on daily basis. And there are 4 technology partners in India, you can say. The big MNCs are the technology partners. Now, government should come up with a protocol that any change in technology should compulsorily pass through some power grid or some other utility, so that that is compatible with the existing system. Now, what is happening? A particular MNC is coming with a new product. Yes, you know, they had spent hugely on R&D. They will like to sell it. And when they sell it, sometimes that is, if that is not compatible with the existing system, a huge cost is incurred to make it compatible with the system. Why it pains me? Because it comes as a direct cost to a EPC company. That comes as an additional cost to EPC. If those technologies are duly tested through Power Grid or so, that they are compatible with the existing system, I think people will be not caught in this web and will be saved of this cost. And ultimately, why these are important? Anybody can say that let it be a free market, where we all advocate that the market should be free, it should follow demand and supply. All those things are very prevalent. Na? You can't do that in power sector. Power is an essential product, and it has to be, the cost incurred in the power sector reflects in the cost of power, and cost of the power has to be borne by the poorest of poor also. So you can't leave it to the market forces only. Government has to think about it, and some role has to come where, if not fully, some control is there, so that some costs, some unexpected price rises are not there, so that that risk factor will reduce. The moment the risk factor will reduce, the cost will reduce. Everybody loads the risk, you know. So if you can reduce the risks in the power sector, the costs will certainly come down. And that should be the motive, because the lesser the power will cost, the more you will grow, more your products will be competitive in the market, in the international market. And that is why this is very, very important. So these are the things where these are the normal things which government is working on these. Probably this has not uh, been projected in that manner, or those has not been caught by them in that perspective, that these things has not come. Otherwise these things can easily come, because that framework is there, CA is there, EMA is there for price regulation, CA is there for standardization of product, a complete division is there in CA for standardization of products. All these things can be easily done. This will certainly help.